Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are so thankful and excited that you decided to take 30 minutes out of your schedule tonight to learn about this amazing technology. We are truly just watching it change lives. I got a couple of texts even today about things that people are seeing and noticing, and just so thankful for this technology. So it just makes it so fun, and especially this time of year with Thanksgiving, we have so many things to be thankful for, and this technology is definitely one of those. And so it's just such a joy to get to share it with you tonight. So I'm Nikki McCutchen. I will be your host for this evening. The call will be for 30 minutes, like I said. I'm going to start with the medical disclaimer. So tonight, what we'll be sharing is for informational purposes only. The products that we discuss are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any dis-ease. If you are on medications or have medical conditions or are pregnant or nursing, just like with embarking on any health regimen, diet, or fitness program, please make sure to check with your preferred healthcare practitioner first. And with that, we are going to start chatting about this amazing technology, this tiny little patch. It is FDA compliant as a general wellness product. The company has been around for 20 years. It's a class 1 medical device, completely non-transdermal. What that means is there's nothing that's transferring from this patch into your body. So I was talking to somebody today who was talking about how she's also wearing estrogen patches. So I want to make sure that everybody really understands this technology is completely different from an estrogen patch, a vitamin patch, something that is a patch that is putting something into your body. So your body is absorbing something that's on that patch. This patch does not do that. It is sealed in medical grade plastic on both sides with hypoallergenic adhesive. So nothing can transfer from that patch. So it is made up of amino acids and salts in a crystal lattice structure, but it's reflective like a mirror. Those crystals operate in a very specific way that turns on a specific frequency that I'm going to explain a little bit more later. But there's nothing going into your skin, no chemicals, no drugs, no vitamins, nothing is going into your skin. It is turning on peptides in your body like we turn on the light switches in our house. So working in that mode of just needing that trigger, that switch to turn something on so that it will start working again. So this technology has a 96% effectiveness rate. Okay. That is amazing. Okay, that is jaw-dropping. So even when you're using a patch that is transdermal, that something is being absorbed, your body has to absorb that, receive that, transfer that to where it needs to go. Okay, and then wherever it needs to go, it has to be absorbed again, and then utilized, okay, by the body. Those cells need to utilize it the way that it was designed. At any point in that process, there can be breakdown. People's bodies have breakdown in that process of absorbing things, whether through the skin or even taking them like as a supplement, exogenously, or even injections. Those all have to go through that process in some way, shape, or form. This is turning on what's already there. There's no breakdown in the process. Okay. So that's what's so amazing and why it has a 96% effectiveness rate. The 4% where there could potentially be breakdown, our genius inventor founder, David Schmidt, invented Cellergize Morning, which has everything that you need to make sure that this technology is going to work. And now the combination of the two has a 100% effectiveness rate. It is why we just won the 2025 Biotech Award of the Year for this duo, Cellergize Morning, along with our X39 patch technology for activating stem cells in the body, getting them up and running and rejuvenating our body. It's why we won that award, 100% effectiveness rate. Literally, there is nothing, there's no comparison. There's nothing else that you can get out there on the market in any way, shape, or form that has 100% effectiveness rate that works the way this technology works. So completely novel. There's no competition in the market. Truly, truly remarkable. So, and extremely affordable. So if we are talking about if I'm going to try to pick something on the market that would be a comparison in some way, again, this isn't a great comparison, but at least to like give you a comparison of the scale of what we're talking about, your body's ability to do because of this technology, it would be a stem cell injection. With stem cell injections, you go in and they say, well, we have no idea whether it's going to work for you or not. So there's no like, I don't even know if they probably don't even give you a 50% effectiveness rate. I don't even know. Even at that, like you might be someone it works for, you might not. Like that's it. You have no idea whether it's going to work or not. This technology is always working. Always, whether you feel it or not. With the stem cell injection, you would have had paid thousands and thousands of dollars and have no idea if it's actually going to work. This is pennies on the dollar, less than a cup of coffee a day to activate this certain peptide in our body that does all these amazing things. And then you add this, Celergize morning to it as well. So now you have the balanced zinc and copper in your body that you need. Sometimes people are deficient in copper. So this then balances that out with that proper ratios, along with electrolytes. A lot of people are electrolyte deficient. And so magnesium, potassium, sodium. So this gives the proper balance of that as well, which again, you need those for glycine, histidine, and lysine to work properly in the body, which is GHK copper peptide. So again, the copper and the zinc balance. So the copper then working right as well to transport the GHK copper peptide around the body, as well as amino acids. So if you don't already take amino acids, all of this is in one place. So it's a great add in that way as well. And it has sea buckthorn extract in it, which optimizes your body's ability to utilize the stem cells. It optimizes the stem cells that are there as well. So you're getting this great support. Again, there's nothing else on the market, even just with this Celergize product that you can get that's in those combinations. Can you buy all those things individually? Yes, you can. But if I was just going to pick things on Amazon that I could put in my cart that would be like this, $250. You can get this for as little as $50. So again, truly amazing. And the combination to support this amazing technology to make sure you're getting 100% effectiveness rate is truly phenomenal. You do not have to use this to utilize the patch technology, but it's there for you if you so desire, as well as even just understanding what Celergize can do for the benefits of your brain, your cardiovascular system, multiple areas of your body as well. Again, because it optimizes stem cell production in the body. So anyway, so truly amazing. This technology is patented. We have over 200 patents and counting. We have over 90 clinical studies and counting. Like we just continue to produce scientifically backed, documented information to show that our technology is doing what it says it's doing. So you can actually go and see all of those at patchtheway.com, PATCH, theway.com. You do have to, there's a little button that says click here. When you click here, it's going to tell you to enter the passcode LIGHT. And then across the top, those patents and clinical studies you'll be able to click on that, the research, and those will come up so you can read all of those if you would like to. But there's all kinds of great information on that site as well, not just the deep dive into the science, but obviously we need that there. We want the backing that we have, which is amazing, but it's also is for those of us who are just, regular individuals who need the regular, just tell me in normal person speak. It's all there. There's videos there. It's fantastic. So it's a fabulous website that you can send anyone to get educated on what this technology does. So again, no product in the world does what X39 does. So let's talk about how the technology actually works. So it works through a process called photobiomodulation, which is just a big word for light making change in the body. Every time we step out into the sun and the sun hits our skin and our eyes, it tells our body to make vitamin D. And then our body utilizes and sends that vitamin D where it needs to go in the body. So it's the body that's doing all the work. It was the sun that was that light switch, that trigger to help that vitamin D start working. This patch technology does not need the sun because we are the light source. We are the heat source. When you sit down next to someone and you can feel that body heat coming off of them, that scientifically is a low-grade infrared light, okay? How we know this is that when you're watching a movie and they're looking through night vision goggles and they're talking about seeing that heat signature, That scientifically is a low-grade infrared light that is heat. You can feel it on people's bodies when they're really warm. So that heat and light source hits the center of this patch in that little, white spot that's made in a crystal lattice structure that's reflective like a mirror. Our own infrared light hits that, bounces back into the body at a very specific frequency, turning on GHK copper peptide. Okay, this patch can be placed anywhere on the body. It's why I have one on my wrist. The company has been around for over 20 years. So we know, based on science, we know that infrared light comes out at every point in our body, which means it will be triggered by that patch, and that light switch will switch on at that frequency, turning on GHK copper peptide. So I wear these 12 hours on, 12 hours off. I put them on my body when I get up in the morning. I take them off at night when I go to bed. The next day, I put on a brand new patch. I do that day in and day out. So when GHK copper peptide gets turned on in the body, okay, again, there's 50 years of research on GHK copper peptide, very scientifically sound backed information on what GHK copper peptide does in the body. So when that gets turned on, there is this normal aging process that happens in the body that GHK copper peptide just starts to decline. So when GHK copper peptides start to decline, there's all these different issues that happen in the body. So if we're talking about regenerative cells, by the time we're 30, half of our regenerative cells are no longer working on our behalf. By the time we're 60, we only have about 10% or so any longer working on our behalf. So when you think about between 30 and 60, aches, pains, illness, disease, all of these things start to set in, it's because that GHK copper peptide is declining and those regenerative cells are now declining. They're still there. They're just not working. They're getting tired. Like, we all talk about as we age, we get tired. So that doesn't have to happen if you can use this technology to flip on that light switch to say, I am still alive. So I want GHK copper peptide to work continually in our bodies. So I actually was listening to this health talk today. A couple of doctors were just talking about different peptides, and they mentioned GHK copper peptide multiple times. And he was talking about how his daughter was using it on her skin. So we have that in our wrinkle cream. So we have a GHK copper peptide in our wrinkle cream in our Aloe Vita line. So we have that as well. So he was talking about that, but he was talking about injectable GHK copper peptide. So again, like I already mentioned, that has to be utilized in a certain way by the body for the body to be able to use it how it needs to. You bypass all of that the second you put on this patch. The other thing is that this technology is even cheaper than peptide therapies, so injections and things that you're going to do in that way. So you can turn on your own GHK copper peptide without doing anything invasive and having it being fully turned on every single time with this technology. So truly, and you can do it every day. You can have it be switched on every day. Super easy. Within seconds a day, you go on about your day. So having those regenerative cells working on our behalf to where our body gets to decide where they need to go, what it needs to do, what needs to be regenerated. All of those things begin to be helped by GHK copper peptide. So let's talk about what else GHK copper peptide does. So it also turns on and helps to support the cardiovascular system. So the entire cardiovascular system at the mitochondrial level. So every part of your cardiovascular system is supported by GHK copper peptide. Again, this is why when I'm comparing it to a stem cell injection, why I'm saying it's not a great comparison, because of the very long list that GHK copper peptide does in the body. So your heart's supported, your blood vessels, the lining of your blood vessels. It's very common for people to have fantastic results in what's going on with their heart once they have this combination of regenerative cells and support at the mitochondrial level for their cardiovascular system. So you get this amazing compounding effect from multiple layers of things that our body utilizes. So supports the brain. So your memory, your cognitive ability. This for me was huge. I was having brain fog issues. Like I was forgetting things. I would forget people's names. Those are all things that I didn't struggle with when I was younger. And I just started noticing having, just that kind of declining and chalking it up to aging. Well, if I don't have to have that, I would much rather be able to remember conversations that I have had with people in the past so that I can recall information. I can recall what their name is. So having that back is truly, truly a blessing. If that would have been the only thing it did for me, it would have been enough for me to never stop wearing it. So even like people that struggle with anxiety and depression, having that support that their brain needs to have that inflammation, that stress reduction go down, that calm come over them, just to have the support that their brain needs in that way is truly remarkable. So collagen support. So collagen, people most just think that that's hair, skin, and nails. Do we have it show up in our skin? Yes, we do. It is why GHK copper peptide is also topical, which helps people with their skin because of the benefits that it has for the skin. But when you can turn it on internally, then you also get the support for the hair. You get all of the collagen support. So if I'm remembering, I think there's 28 different types of collagen in our body, and all of those can be supported. There's no reason why we can't turn all of that back on. A lot of us take, different types of collagen supplementation, but they're not supporting every single type. I think like the highest one that I've seen is like 9 different types. So if I can have everything supported from the base, not something that I'm intaking to where then my body has to be able to utilize it properly, that's huge. So the ligaments, the tendons, the fascia, even the meridian systems in our body, those are made of teeny tiny little collagen spindles, which is just remarkable. So having that communication system in our body work properly is huge. It allows our brains to connect to all the other parts in our body, for our organs and the vagus nerve, all of these things to work properly because that meridian system is working better because the collagen is being supported properly. So and your immune system. So when we think about the immune system, a lot of times, like the first thing I think about is just when I'm thinking about, it's getting colder, people start to have colds and sniffles and coughs and all of these things that happen. But your immune system controls every single thing that happens to you. So whatever kind of disease or illness that comes our way, that's all controlled by our immune system. So if you can support that to where you are able to withstand and have your body be able to deal with whatever toxins or rogue cells or whatever's going on in the body, if you have that kind of support, again, that can change everything. And so this is 5 major body systems that I've talked about: regenerative cells, cardiovascular support, brain health, collagen support, immune system support. Okay, that's just 5. There's over 80 different things that GHK copper peptide supports in the body. It is why it's considered the fountain of youth, resetting 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. So let me put this in perspective. Again, why there's no other product on the market that does what this technology does. When we are talking about a peptide or something even like in our food, so like in grapes, that actually does help reset genes to a younger, healthier state. So grapes has resveratrol in there. It can reset. Resveratrol helps to reset two genes, y'all. 2 genes. Okay, which is great. Like grapes are great. Like I want the benefits of grapes, polyphenols, all the good things, antioxidants, everything. That's all fantastic. We want to eat well, healthy, organic, all of that is fantastic. But I can put on a tiny little sticker and reset 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. It's why we see people get the vast results that they can get and see with this technology. So just truly, truly amazing. So people will say, how long do I have to be on this technology? How long do I have to wear it? Well, for me, I will have a patch on my body until Jesus comes back to get me. So my body is going to age no matter what. That's the path that we all go down. There's no one that gets to skip the aging process, okay? If I can have the support to turn back on GHK copper peptide to reset 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state, I want to stay in that state. I I want to allow my body to have the time to have the compounding effect. So whatever's going on, all the different things that are going to happen through us through our lifetime, however long, the Lord leaves us here, whatever's going to happen, I want my body to be able to respond with the most vitality, with the most balance, with the most ability to handle whatever's coming at me. Okay. If I am not using this technology, my only option is for, all the other things that I've tried to do to anti-age, to be able to support. So exercise, quality nutrition, all of those things are foundational. And if you add that to this technology, it's going to only help you across the board. Okay. But this changes everything. We're not just talking about anti-aging, we're talking about age reversal. Okay. Resetting 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. Okay. Your exercise, your nutrition are not those, nothing is going to be reset. It's just going to, slow things down, which of course we want to do because it's about vitality of life, right? Quality of life, how we're able to live and function in each day. If we do not have our health, it affects every single thing we can do in this life. Can God still use us no matter what's going on with us, wherever we're having to go and be and do? Absolutely. He does tell us that he is going to work all things together for good for those who are called according to his purpose. And he is still going to use us no matter what happens. But I want to be able to function in what I'm called to, what he calls me to. Whatever that looks like, I want to be able to move in that with vitality and health and, longevity as far as from a standpoint of feeling well for however many days that he gives me here. So really, if you, I'm going to tell you 6 to 12 months, especially if you have a list. If you have a list of aches, pains, illness, disease, medication, you got to give this time. You have to give this 6 to 12 months to see, to be able to go back into your doctor, to have those tests rerun, and to see what changes are being created in the body. I hope, and most likely, you are going to see things, you're going to feel things happen before that. You're going to notice things, okay? But here's the deal. Some people don't. Does that mean the technology is not working? Absolutely not. My husband is one of those that doesn't really notice anything, but we see it in his test results. All right. And again, you have to understand that 96% effectiveness rate, that's real. That means it's always working in the body, no matter what. And again, there's nothing else you can do that's going to turn on GHK copper peptide in the way that this technology does. So truly hydration is key. Okay. It's why we put Celergize in our water in the morning, because it helps to hydrate all of the cells with the electrolytes. So hydration, whatever your list is that's here, it's possible that you just getting good, high quality water could stop some of that symptomology of whatever you've got going on. Most people are walking around chronically dehydrated. My son's girlfriend was in over Thanksgiving with him, and I think she has a water absorption problem. Her cells are struggling to absorb water. She drinks so much water. So I cannot wait to be able to get the water technology coming out because when it's infused with light, it penetrates all the cells. Every cell now has the ability to be hydrated properly. So anyway, I can't wait to see what she notices in being able to drink that. But anyway, we have all these breakdowns in our body. That's the deal. So if we can bypass some of those systems and those breakdowns by turning things on from the base with this patch technology across the board, any of our patches that are turning on things from the base foundationally, then our body has the ability to utilize that because there's no process it has to go through to absorb or to pick up, to transport, to absorb, and then use. Like there's, all these processes that break down in the body that no longer work right. So quality hydration is huge. And of course, obviously, David Schmidt clearly believes that because we will have a technology coming out in first quarter that should help all of us and just be able to change our body's ability to receive that hydration. Again, our body's ability to work the way that it was designed to work. So I love this technology. I'm so thankful y'all are on tonight. Please feel free. Do you have questions? Let me know. what you put them in the chat. You can raise your hand. You can just unmute any questions you have. That's what we're here for. If you have a story you want to share, I would love to hear those as well. I just talked to someone who she was telling me that with all this cold front coming in, like normally she feels those aches and pains in her joints and in her body. And when that started up last week, she could feel it a little bit, but she was shocked because normally it really put her down. And then, like today, with the cold front here that we have had coming in, she feels completely fine. Like she's blown away. She's only been on the technology, I think, like a couple of weeks. So, I mean, again, thankful that she's getting super quick results like that. But would she want to stop? Like if she doesn't? No, absolutely not. We don't know where your body's deciding to use this technology. And sometimes there's just some tweaks, like she came over and I patched her knee. And that was just a huge game changer. And we did have to add some extra patches for that. So what do you want for your health? What does your health mean to you? What are you willing to invest, in your health to be able to have it just work the way it was designed to work from the base? Like that's what we're talking about here with this technology.
So, Nikki, I have
Yes,
a
ma'am.
question. It's Sarah.
Fantastic. Hey,
Hi,
Sarah.
how are you?
Good.
I
How are
always have to
you?
come on here and learn because I'm such a slow learner. But first of all, I didn't even, because I've got lupus, and it didn't even occur to me that I wasn't feeling the pain associated with the change in weather, but I'm not.
Ah,
It didn't even occur to me.
praise
Oh
the
my
Lord.
goodness.
Yes, and
Wow.
that's
Thank
what
you for
happens, right? Like
that is nuts. Yes.
we forget when a pain that we've had for so when it just goes
Uh-huh.
away, like because it's random, it comes and goes,
Right.
and it's just not there.
Yeah.
We forget that we have had it for 10 years.
Exactly. So then my
So
other question is, because I know you wear everything. And so like I just don't know the protocol. If I'm gonna I just don't know. I struggle with where to put them. Do I change them up? Do I not? I guess that's where I get a little confused. So
yeah,
I'm gonna add some
absolutely.
stuff because the sale's still good for today, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So
I
yes,
gotta get going.
Black Friday sales will go through midnight tonight, Eastern Standard Time. So
Okay.
take advantage of that for sure.
Okay.
The Cyber Week will start tomorrow with the Alavita system. So if you haven't tried the skincare along with the Alavita patch, it's definitely the time. I did do a live on that earlier, so that's on my YouTube page, just Nikki McCutchen. Under the lives, you'll see that Cyber Week talking about that. But yes, so as far as wearing the other patches, really it depends on what your goals are. And so I can sit down with you and break that down for you. I do wear pretty much most of the patches every day. I don't always wear ice waves. So usually, obviously, I use that one only if I have pain. And a lot of times I'll wear that at night just to like preemptively cut off, like, because
Yes.
I've had back issues. So I'll preemptively wear that white on right, tan on left on my back at night. So then when I get up, I'm fine. Like there's no problems. So a lot of times I'll just preemptively wear that. But you can utilize, so in the booklet, there's either you can go to your website and you can see
Mhm.
patch placement under each patch, or if the booklets are there, you
Right.
turn to the back and it'll show you the different placements. And so, you can pick a spot. You may find that, you may like rotate through, do like, 3 to 5 days of each different spot in the booklet to see if there's one that you notice something different. But
Okay.
we can pinpoint and we can talk specifically, about what your goals are, because there's some other ways, to utilize that patch technology as well. So for the different patches.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you, and I know this is a personal question, but if I'm going to need to order by midnight, which I will, so I'm doing the X39, I'm doing Ice Wave, I've got glutathione and a Aeon, whatever it is.
Yeah.
What would be like the next adventure for me? I don't. I-
Yeah,
I'm
so you want to take advantage of that YH special, the Eon, the glutathione, and the carnosine. That's fantastic. Like what,
uh-huh.
$112 for three, and
Yes.
you have a limit of five, so you can get up to five of those, which would give you 5 months if you wear them every day. If you don't
Right.
wear them every day, which you don't have to,
Hmm.
that's obviously they're going to last you much longer than that. So, so that's a fantastic special to take advantage of.
Okay.
So the X39, X49, and the energy enhancer. So if you'd like to try the energy enhancer, I don't think you really have an issue with energy though. So that's a nice one to try. Energy enhancer can also be utilized for pain. I actually wear it. Yeah, I actually wear it for, just to, preemptively for the pain portion, but also it helps to move the lymphatic system. So it does more, it has more because turning on beta oxidation. So it does more things in the body than just the ice wave and reducing that pain. And so a lot of times I'll use the energy enhancer just because of the benefits overall of turning on beta oxidation in the body, which turns body fat into fuel. It's just only like 300 to 600 calories. So most people aren't going to notice a difference like in their weight. Are there some people that do? Yes, they do. Do we market it as weight loss? Absolutely not. We don't. But some people do end up having those results with it. I can't say that I've seen that at all. So I don't notice it giving me more energy. But again, just to know that that body system is working properly, having that support for my lymphatic system, along with beta oxidation, turning body fat into fuel, that function, having that flipped on in my body. I like to have energy enhancer for that. And then of course you'll get the X49 with that. So
well, and I didn't think about using them preemptively. That's a new concept for me because it would have been great if I had had that before I babysat by myself overnight my 4 granddaughters. Yeah. Because I was in a lot of pain after that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when so I'll use energy enhancer during the day and I'll use ice wave at night, so I'll have that combination going so that I'm just preemptively patching for my back as a just in case measure, because again, I don't like to be stopped. I don't like to be slowed down, so if I can preemptively patch and have that be an investment in my health to do that, I am all about that. So,
okay. Well, I'll be quiet. I'm done. Thank you.
No, you're great. You're great. Lisa, how can we help you, my dear?
Hi, Nikki. Nice to talk with you. How are you?
Good. So glad you're on tonight.
So am I. I've been traveling to the boondocks in Virginia to be with my parents, so I haven't been able to make it. But my best friend since I was 8 years old, Vicky Milad Siegford, I call her Vicky Siegford. Um, Unfortunately, I was assaulted in the end of February,
Oh no.
and she had been trying to reach me. I had a brain bleed. I had 3 fractures, and I'm still deaf in my left ear. But she had been trying to reach me about this system, and I just didn't get her message. I don't know. My mom had control of my phone. But I'm not going to make it a long story. I have a lot of different injuries and issues. We hooked up a couple weeks ago. The water, love it. And Vicky, is it the Aeon that I like, or X39? Are they both
Yes, the
same?
Eon.
Okay. Yeah, that. I mean, when she came over to see us, my best friend lives here too, and I was just like, I feel phenomenal. I haven't felt. I went through about 3 months of depression and just pain and everything, but since she came by with this, I mean, when she came by right before I left for Virginia last week, I was like, I feel phenomenal. Like the energy, the just, like I just didn't want to lay in my bed anymore. I mean, on and off, that's how I felt without this. But I have the energy and I feel a little healthier the longer I use the patch, the water. I went to Virginia and the boondocks, like I said, to see my mom. I shared, some of the samples with my mom, and she was like, "Oh my gosh." So this morning she kind of whispered me, she's like, um, "Could you leave me just one of the patches?" So she, at 83 years old, no, I'm sorry. Oh gosh, that's your mother's age. Yeah, my mom. 78. I'm sorry. But yeah, she was feeling the difference too. And I had already told Vicky that, I am a believer. I feel like it's a game changer, and I'm so glad that she introduced me to it. Unfortunately, right now I'm kind of, not kind of, I'm totally without any kind of income, but I'm trying for temporary disability and everything because I have a lot of nerve damage in my right hand, and I'm right-handed. So that's something we did try on there. But I'm very sensitive to cold. So we'll see what we can work on with that. But I mean, just this is definitely a game changer. And my mom, who is not a believer in outside stuff, my dad, he has COPD, and I couldn't convince him to try it. Maybe eventually, yes. But my mom, she just she's always had energy. She's just been slowing down the past like year or two, and she definitely felt it this weekend. I mean, this week too, that I've been there. And I'm so thankful to every one of you guys for sharing this, but for Vicky, because she just kept like pushing in, like, I want to come down and pat you. I want to come down and pat you. And of course I was skeptical, but like, as listening to you talk, my mom, she buys this vital proteins or whatever, and I was just sharing with my best friend roommate here that they're like $40 a small little tub. And as you were saying, if you wanted to get everything in that little patch, I've already went through my mind 3 things. She gets that like something yeast that she puts on her eggs, and she does the aloe vera, and she does the vital proteins, and I'm like, yeah, with just the little bit of time that I've been on it. I know you said 6 months, but it only took me a couple days, and it changed my perception of like, just okay, get up and deal with what you got. And then I got energy, and then I was positive, and of course seeing Vicky, she's damn beautiful, gorgeous, you know.
Yes, she is.
So I'm so
Yes, that's
glad to
awesome.
yeah, I'm so glad to be a
Yes.
part of it tonight. She's invited me twice, but I hadn't been able to make it. So,
Well, I'm
but
so glad that you have been able to join tonight. So that's amazing. Yes. And what an amazing story. And we're so thankful. Like we are just rejoicing and praising the Lord with you that things have happened so quickly. That's just it. Is like, it's great that it's all happened so quickly for Lisa, but don't stop hatching until you get your miracle. That's the bottom line, is that this technology is always working. So don't stop, because it's doing something whether you feel it or not. And yes, we would all love to feel it quickly like Lisa. We want that for everyone, but our body gets to decide. And there could be something in there that sometimes people don't notice, like they have something going on with their lungs or their heart or their kidneys, and they don't know it. And so the body is working on those without you even knowing it. I mean, that's just it, is that the reason we get into disease states in our lives is because there's stuff going on inside of our body that we don't feel or know about, that's happening outside of our control. But now we have a technology that we can put on that supports the natural body processes to deal with those things. There's nothing else. We're just I feel like most people are just waiting around, and something eventually goes wrong with everybody. Well, what if I don't have to wait around? I can put on a technology instead that's going to start to hopefully combat those things that are going on that are bad, that I don't even know is happening to me. Now I have something that works completely opposite of that to support the natural body processes, to hold those off, to stave those off, to maybe even never have them happen. I mean, like, that's what's crazy, is that, we either sit around and wait for stuff to eventually happen and things to go wrong, or we invest in our health in a way that's something that we may not feel anything going on, but it's so important. It's like Sarah. I love that Sarah comes on and she gets educated and she's reading stuff and she's watching videos, because it's when you actually understand. I've given you a very small portion of understanding what GHK copper peptide does, and even some of the other technologies. When you actually understand and grasp what this does for you, you will never go another day without this technology. Is the bottom line. Educate yourself. It is so very, very important. So, Lisa, we would love to have you come back on and tell your testimonial. We do testimonial calls Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We would love to have you join us again and just share about you and your mom, because that's what this is all about. That's why we do what we do, because we get to see people be blessed. I mean, I can't even imagine what good it does Vicky's heart to have one of her best friends growing up, knowing you are going through all of these really, really hard things in your life, and she just kept trying to reach out to you. finally being able to talk to you and you saying, okay, I'm skeptical, but all right, I love Vicky. Like, obviously she's beautiful. She's doing something, I mean, like there's
Yeah.
clearly all these things, and then she has you try it and you get results so quickly. Like, her heart just overflows to know that she has made that kind of difference in someone that she loves so dearly in her life. So that's what we have with this technology and why we love sharing it so much. So thank you for sharing, Lisa. Thank you
Oh,
for
I
being
will
willing to
continue
try
to
it.
share. I will.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm so excited. Well, thank you all so much for being on tonight. We are just so blessed by you being here. Sharing is caring. It's why Vicky shared with Lisa. It's why we do what we do. So just share more with more people. Tell them about this technology. Let's help as many people as we can. Please come back on Wednesday night. We talk about our business opportunity and how to be able to make money and hopefully get your patches for free. If that's just the bare minimum, we would all like to have our patches for free. And so, as well as on Thursday night, we have a testimonial call. So both of those are at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. But please come back. I'll be back on Monday night. Invite your friends, have them come back, let them learn about the technology, ask questions. So, and with that, we pray blessing over each and every one of you. Good night, everyone.
Good night. God bless. Thanks for
God
sharing,
bless.
Lisa.
Yes,
I love you,
absolutely.
girl.
Yes.